Applied Energistics 2 can be a hard mod to learn, especially when you have no idea where to start, and watching mod tutorials that are 20 minutes long just seem to take you out of the game. Well, I'm here to solve that problem and tell you everything that you need to know about Applied Energistics 2 in under 10 minutes. I don't really plan on going into the crafting recipes in this tutorial since most of the stuff can be looked up in JEI, but what I will tell you is that you will most definitely need an inscriber, and I would definitely recommend having at least 1 or 2 acceleration cards on there just to start. It's really helpful. You will also need a couple diamonds and lots of Fluix crystals. Make sure you have a renewable source of Certus quartz before you really get too far into things, because making the storage cells for the ME drive takes a lot of Certus quartz. So the first block we're going to get into is probably the most important. This is the ME controller. This is essentially your hub of all power. Things will go in and out of this block here to get power. On top of that, or really anywhere you can connect it with the cables, I'll just put it on top for now, is a generator. You can really use any generator. I'm just using an emerald generator for the sake of this tutorial. To connect your machines to the controller, the easiest cable that you can get early game is the Fluix cable. It's just quartz fiber and Fluix crystals, so make sure you have a lot of these because you can run them pretty much as far as you want to and they'll be able to reach as long as they're attached. But let's throw a couple down this way, and we are going to throw down the ME drive. This is your storage hub. You can throw these item storage cells. You can use item storage cells. You can also store fluids in here if you need to. There's also spatial storage, which I'm not really going to get into because these are really the only 2 you need to start out with. But as you can see, once I put them in there, they're lit up, which means that the ME drive is getting power from the cables, which is good. To connect more machines to the cables, what you'll have to do is replace these and use the dense covered cables. These quadruple your channel output, so you can have 4 times the machines connected and they will all get power. So you'll see that we have the ME drive attached and powered. There are storage cells in there, but if we go in here, all it shows us is that we have the storage cells, and if we go into the controller, it just shows us that we have devices connected. So the next question is, how do we access our items? Well, we can throw an ME terminal on top of these cables that'll attach here, go into here, and it'll pull up the entire menu. If we had a bunch of items stored in here, let's say we throw in an ME drive and a Fluix cable, they'll pop up in here. They're in this storage cell here, as you can see. We can pull them in and out so long as we have power. This is completely accessible. And this is great. This is very, very useful. But, in my opinion, you should skip this one and go straight to... Oh, no. And you should go straight to the crafting terminal. Requires a crafting table and an extra annihilation core or something like that. But this also allows you to craft inside the terminal. It'll pull items from your terminal. This is very, very useful. Get this. There's no point in having the other one if you have the crafting terminal. Get that one. Okay, so we covered the basics on how to get storage, put in storage, access the storage, craft within there. All that's fine and good. But now's the time where we can get into a little bit more of advanced things. So right here is the pattern provider, the ME pattern provider. We've got it online with our cables. If you click into the menu, you'll see that there are these slots of patterns that we can put in here, and then a return inventory as well. The patterns are what we're looking at the moment. So there's a second kind of terminal that we can attach. Let's just throw this on the back side. This is the pattern encoding terminal. Now, if you go in here, you'll notice that it's a crafting terminal, but it looks a little bit different. It's got pattern encoding, there's an empty slot here, and an arrow. Now, what the pattern encoding terminal does is, if we choose to think of a recipe, let's say Supremium Essence. that requires Imperium, an infusion crystal, blah, blah, blah. So let's grab those items real quick. So now that we have those items, what we can do is take this blank pattern, throw this in the empty slot up here. This will basically just rewrite that pattern. This is going to be what we put in the pattern provider. So we put that in there, make our pattern that we want to be a pattern. See, we've got this premium. We can either craft it or encode pattern. Bam. Now we have a Supremium crafting pattern. So we can take this pattern, put it in the pattern provider, and now if you notice, we'll go to the terminal and we have a little plus sign where we can craft Supremium essence. So we can decide how much we want to make. We don't have that much Imperium in there, so let's just say we want to make 30. You'll notice there are two things wrong here. Now the first thing we'll need to look into is crafting storage. These are made with generally the same components as the storage cells, but a little bit different. Now, we can attach one of these to the same cable as long as these are kind of connected. It's good enough. The pattern provider will recognize that it has the crafting storage. It attaches here. You can also make it a multi-block, but you'll notice that if I make a L shape or this shape or this shape, it doesn't work. It has to be in a rectangle of some fashion or they will not attach. You can tell if they do because, as you could see, turned black once it was accessible. So now we go back into the terminal. We can say we want not that much because we don't have it. Let's say we want 20. We can start the process. Perfect. And it goes. However, if you click into the crafting storage, it'll show you what is scheduled, and you'll notice that this is not moving. Why isn't this moving? Well, this is because we don't have a molecular assembler attached. You'll see right away it starts crafting because we had it scheduled, but we didn't have a place for it to craft. You can attach up to 5 of these onto a pattern provider if you so choose. I'm just going to do 4 because I don't want to get under the block. But this means exactly what you think it means. Having multiple molecular assemblers can be massive help. For instance, if I have an Inferium farm generating thousands and thousands of Inferium and I don't want to have to craft it all, what I can do is just get the Supremium recipe. Let's say I want to craft 30. Notice it'll make the rest of the essences for me to fill in the gaps for what I need. So if we take a look at the molecular assembler, it does get a little finicky with the infusion crystals sometimes. The way it works for me is if I kind of just mess with them a little bit. Oh, there we go. Now you can see that we've got a whole bunch of different essences being made at the same time. As long as you have multiple infusion crystals and you kind of jiggle them around a little bit. I don't know exactly how it works, to be honest. But you can get multiple going at the exact same time, and it'll speed up your crafting process by a massive, massive amount, especially with crafting recipes with multiple steps. And honestly, that's really it for a start. There are a couple more things I could add. You can make multiple ME drives for additional storage using extended pattern providers, assemblers, drives, etc. There are a lot more advanced things to apply to Energistics too, but this is just a baseline to get you going, have a universal crafting system, storage system, and get yourself prepared for the advanced stages of whatever mod pack you're in. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah, whatever. Alright, bye.